everybody to Cup with Gup on this beautiful Monday, September 13th, 2021. We are coming off an action-packed Sunday. Um, Tremendous NFL football day yesterday. It was good to watch, good to hang out with the kiddos. I am on single dad duty until tomorrow night when the wife gets back home from a conference she's been at since Friday. Obviously, I was gone. Still got all the stuff up for you guys, but was gone out of town till Saturday afternoon. And my member guest last week. It was a good time. So it was a tough week. That course is a tough course. Fast, big greens. Average every day was 95 to 100 degrees. Last 2.5 days was 20 plus mile an hour winds out of the south. So it was a beating once you got done with it. But it was fun. It always was a good time. I enjoy it. Glad to be back this week. We are locked and loaded with an action-packed week that'll be nonstop. PGA off season is over. All 1 week of it. And tonight is the last night to sign up for gupscorner.com. Use the code NFL for 25% off, and that includes a 7-day free trial. Absolutely the best day you could try this out. You'll get all my showstopper stuff for tonight's Monday Night Football, college football all week, NASCAR playoffs, UFC, NBA is right around the corner, but this week will be loaded. So 7-day free trial. You can try everything we got on the site out this week. If you don't like it, cancel Sunday. No harm, no foul. Prizes are up on @Gups Corner. It's pinned there. I will be selecting 4 winners at least from people who upgraded or joined new from August 1st through tonight at midnight. There's an autographed Bryson DeChambeau rookie card for Beauty Artifacts, Upper Deck Artifacts, some Master swag, some GC swag, and I got some DFS money as well I'll be throwing in there. So after tonight, prices go up, discount goes away. So now's the best time to give it a try out for free for 7 days. Then next week, I'll gather who all stayed on after the free trials. And I'll do the giveaways on Tuesday's Cup with Gup. So I get everybody that signed up tonight. Last chance to give us a try. Come check it out. I don't think you will be disappointed. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit the like button for me right now and tell me your favorite Monday Night Football showdown play not named Lamar Jackson. I've been gathering all these comments and everything over this opening week NFL. I'll be doing some giveaways from that and our iTunes rate and review. Thank you guys that have done that. If you don't remember if you've done it, go do that right now. That'll get you back on there just in case you don't remember. I'll have all the lists no matter what. I've been grabbing all that for about a week and a half now, and I'm going to do some random giveaways over the next few Cup with Gups. So we appreciate all that for week 1 NFL. It was awesome. And then last day to get free $25 on a $10 deposit with Underdog. Use the code GUP, G-U-P. You can go to gupscorner.com/affiliates and click the link there, or just go to download the Underdog app. Use the code GUP. Free $25. Ends tonight. Great site they got going. Great, best ball. Looks like they're going to have best ball for NBA. We'll have all that rolling. Some talk in the GC Warrior Room Slack channel, I'm sure, just like NFL was. Then they have nice prop stuff and everything as well. So if you want to check all that out, free $25 if you deposit $10 today. Use the code GUP. That goes away at midnight as well. Appreciate that. NFL for me this Monday pod. We're finally back to a full slate. So I'll go quick thoughts on yesterday. Then we'll look at some week 2 lines. I'll give you brief thoughts on the Showdown slate tonight. Have my full write-up up on the site. Then we'll look briefly at initial odds for the Fortinet Championship that was the Safeway Open prior to on PGA. I'll give you a few guys that stick out to me early this Monday. Then we'll wrap it up and get out of here. We got a full week. I got the Smash Factor to get done this evening. And then I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. So on Sunday for me, or really that week 1 NFL, Bucks Cowboys, I think was a tremendous game. I talked about that a little bit on the coin flip. I was happy. I watched some of the game back yesterday because Thursday night I was a little busy. So I was in and out watching it. I think Dallas is going to be good. I predicted that. I mean, I was on them high. I didn't take much away from there that I was mad about. The offense is tremendous. Even with Zeke, I mean, I get that. That's not the end of the world. A little bit of a reaction there. Bucks are still good. We know that. They got some weaknesses though, so they got some work to do, and I'm sure they know that. It's a great game though. I think those are two of the best top 10 teams. Cowboys could be up there. I'm not going to put them in the top 10 yet, but I think they have the potential if they can stay healthy. That seems to be a problem for them as of late the last couple of years as well. Eagles Falcons. Wow. We thought I don't know if we would have thought that dominating of a week one. I like Jalen a lot, obviously. Former Senator, former Alabama. We didn't know anything about the Falcons. You lose Julio. But the defense, just up front, the Eagles look really, really good. They're going to be a team. We got to keep an eye out. Biggest thing about week two, and you'll hear this from me so much this week, is overreaction week. This is one of my favorite weeks on DFS and betting because you get a lot of overreaction to a one game deal. It's kind of like sometimes in PGA, Friday can be a good day on showdowns because of overreaction from one day Thursday. When you do all this prep all week on looking at golfers, and then people want to just move away from it from one bad round or something. Same here with football. I mean, football. Any coach you've talked to, and if you played at any level, they always say our biggest improvements are always from week one to week two. But I think some people you can go the other way, right? A little high on your horse, that kind of stuff. I think DFS wise and betting wise, we can take advantage of that. Doesn't mean I don't like the Eagles. I'm just saying that's a scenario we can have there. They look strong. Um, I was on Will Bryson's podcast, talked about Winston, the Saints, stuff like that. Not sure I could have predicted that they would blow out the Packers like that. I originally liked the Saints in that game when it was going to be um, in New Orleans. Like it was one of those games that was on my board to take a look at. Um, Obviously, with a hurricane come through and all that, it goes to Jacksonville, hot, not indoors. It made me move off of that game just because I thought the Packers were going to come out a little sluggish. Rodgers needed to shake off rust. We saw his offseason stuff, but I couldn't get on the game at that number. Obviously, regret it now. But that's a team that could have some overreaction this week. The Saints a little bit in the betting line. I think DFS are still going to be good. And Packers, I think the overreaction the other way. People are going to be way off of them. Maybe able to get some good value there. Two teams that I really wanted to bet, and I didn't put them on the official card, and kicked me because of it. Texans were one. I talked about it on two podcasts last week that I felt like that game was a trappy situation. Everybody, just blowing off the Texans. No Deshaun. They've given away everybody. Just a bunch of picks. And I was like, well, it's still the Jags on the road. First time for a coach. First time for the quarterback. I didn't think Texans would look that good. I'm not going to act like I did. But I did I leaned that line +3, and I should have put it on the card. And the other one was the Cardinals. I just couldn't. I love Kyler, obviously. I like his season this year. I had a lot of high expectations for him. But on the road at Tennessee, I just couldn't. I'm high on them for the year, but I couldn't put myself on them to cover, and the line kind of shrunk even more, which kind of made me raise my eyebrows. I wasn't as down that I didn't have those on the card like the Texans, but I am high on the Cardinals. I think some of the things we saw yesterday isn't fool's gold. I mean, the defense is great. Xavier Collins for Tulsa is a great addition to that defense. Buda Baker. I mean, those guys are going to be good. I'm not all in on him yet. Like thinking, and there could be some overreaction this week. But man, Kyler looked good. If he stays healthy and that offense gels more and more, I think Rondell Moore will still get involved. He was decently involved yesterday. Certainly paid off the $3K price tag. I like them. We'll keep an eye on them. I'll have more on the NFL as we go through the week. Early lines that stick out to me for week two as we glance down the board this morning. Saints -3.5 +100 on the juice. That feels trappy. Just blow out the Packers. The Panthers are at home. I would have thought, and I haven't done my power rankings or none of my stuff. This is just gut feel stuff for Monday mornings, something I'm going to do moving forward. And then Tuesday we'll go through power rankings and stuff like that. But that one seems like the world's going to take the Saints -3, -3.5 over the Panthers. So kind of going to keep an eye on that. Panthers may be a early play there. Browns -12.5. Browns are at home. Coming off a tough loss where they led a lot of the game against the Chiefs, they still played well. Well, a lot of people jump on the Texans and say, man, look what they did against the Jaguars. They look better than we thought. 12.5 is a ton of points. I do think the markets and the people in them are more efficient, and just like DFS, the industry is stronger than it ever has because there's more betting everywhere across the U.S. Not just Vegas was kind of the old thing, and so I lean the Browns there. But I'm interested to see if a lot of public or quote unquote public, goes to Texans. That's the line that stuck out to me. Probably a little higher than I thought it would be, but we'll see what comes out when I shake through the power rankings tomorrow. Bills -3.5 on the road to Miami. Bills are one team I was very under on compared to the industry for sure. But I was last year and I had a complete egg on my face. But I still came back this year and said, hey, I think they're going to be a strong team. I'm not as high on them as everybody else was. There's some people, 14-3, stuff like that. Did I see them losing at home to Pittsburgh? Not really, but the situation kind of was, I didn't hate it. But now they got to go on the road to probably a hot, humid Miami. That's what I'll keep an eye on. I don't hate Miami there at home. But if people are, I have to watch some of the tape. I always do that later in the week to see where can Buffalo improve on. That's a team that I could mark and say, hey, they may have a big bounce back from week 1 to week 2. Eagles +3.5 at home against the 49ers. This is a spot where my gut says overreaction is, I got to take Philly +3.5. Are you kidding me? They look great. Now they're at home. They get the 49ers, who looked okay, came out looking strong, but then Lions kind of settled down and made it a little bit of a football game. So I'm trying not to overreact there. But certainly right out the gate, I would think Eagles at home look decent. But I'll have to grind out through the week. That's a line that interests me. I'm only going to give 5 to 6 each week on this Monday morning. Number 5, Jags +6 at home against the Broncos. Now, this is almost a classic bet for me to start out with. I was high on the Broncos last week. They covered fairly easy. I didn't like the Jags situation. They didn't look good, but if you go back and watch that second half, and I watched it this morning, 14-10, the Jaguars. Lawrence settled down some. I think the 6 may be too much there, and you get an overreaction both ways. I think Broncos may have been a fairly popular bet. I don't know. I know we had them. We liked them. And the Jaguars, I know, was a public chalk bet playing Houston. So a lot of people are super down on Jaguars. Broncos look good coming out the gate. Jags +6 may be an early line we want to hop on, or if we think what's going to wait. This is something I'll look into tonight and we talk about tomorrow. But if we think people are just going to keep hammering the Broncos, we may sit here and go, well, does that get to 7? But that's a game I kind of have my eye on. Cowboys +3 at San Diego. That's probably about the right line. San Diego looked good. The ending score wasn't as good as what the performance was. But, man, I do like Dallas. It's hard for me to say that they go 0-2 to start the year. But they're on the road again, so back-to-back road games. Don't know where I go with this game yet, but I do think we could, some books will have a look ahead to week 3, and I haven't done it yet, but it's on my list to see if we can get a good look ahead number on Dallas week 3. Because I think, maybe they go on the road twice, 2 decent teams, 2 great quarterbacks, go 0-2. Perception of reality may be different, and we have that much explosiveness on offense. I do like them. I will make a note to see if we can look at who they play week 3, because that may be something to look up to. Showdown tonight. I think it's going to be interesting. It's Ravens -4, over-under is 50. Implied score is 27-23 Ravens. I lean the Ravens a little bit there to win and possibly cover. All my official stuff is up on the site already if you want to go check it out. The biggest situation, which is kind of unique in this deal, is the Ravens have lost 3 running backs here in the last week and a half, and we don't know exactly who's going to be active and inactive tonight. And then on top of it, the Raiders, Jacobs gets put on the questionable list with a illness, is all it says. Some potential rumors on COVID and all that. I'm not going to pretend to know all the rules yet on this year. I would assume if it was a COVID-related deal, he wouldn't be like questionable. It would be like he's out or something. But I have no idea. I don't know how they test. Maybe they got to test him again. He's got to do it negative. No idea. It doesn't matter at this point. It's just more about we have to wait and see who actually is active and in tonight on both those situations. I think it's really going to come down to what you want to do with Lamar. I mean, he seems like a smash spot at quarterback. I mean, at captain potentially. Certainly got to pay up for him at 18.6. That would be it's a lot when you start building, but you could have some nice cheap plays depending on who's active and inactive. Um, I'm not high if Jacob is in. I'm not high on him or Drake per se because I think it could wind up being close to a 50-50 share. If Jacobs is out, maybe Barber comes in as worth a flyer if he gets a goal line carry, something simple because he hadn't been there long. It does boost Drake for me if Jacobs is out because now I think Drake gets the majority of the snaps with Barber maybe spelling him, and Drake's going to catch the ball well. So that's a boost there if Jacob is out. So we'll have to see what happens there. Baltimore, I think Tyson Williams, no matter how it works out, is still going to get probably the majority of the carries, touches, plays, and all that. So I do like him tonight. We'll see if they activate Bell, Murray, both. Even Devontae Freeman, I think, is on the team too. It's kind of hard to keep up with. Devontae Freeman. I don't really like Freeman or Cannon. Probably the only way Cannon would come into the picture for me is if for some reason Freeman, Murray, and Bell were all inactive. Still a possibility. We don't know. This is kind of a unique situation, but Williams is probably. I'm treating him as an RB1 that's going to see majority of the usage tonight, and I like him. Nice price there. 10-2 at captain, maybe a sneaky play there. And then possibly Murray if he becomes like he's active and Bell's not, or some of these other guys aren't. We'll have to kind of clarify that. If it's a major update for me, I'll do it I'll update the site. If not, I'll just get in Slack once we get the inactive list. I think it's 90 minutes before kickoff, and discuss it in there. I think Waller's a potential play at captain. These are no duh type stuff as far as playing them in a player pool, but if you don't want to go Lamar, I don't see many people. I think if people don't go Lamar, they're going to go cheaper down. I don't see them going really Waller or Carr. I think some of your big fields, possibly Carr gets some look just because he's a quarterback, and that's kind of a deal. But some of the sharper contests and stuff like that, I think Lamar's probably going to be picked a lot. And then if not, they go down to some of these cheap deals. Maybe it is Tyson Williams. Kenyon Drake, if Jacobs is out, is probably could be a popular one. And I wouldn't hate that. I think that's on the list if you're doing that. Single bullet, it gets hard not to go Lamar. I get it. But I think you could put him in at captain and still make some unique stuff, especially if you do that. I would recommend leaving some money on the table to, at least $100, but try to make you a little bit different than others. If you're doing MME, which tonight feels like a good MME one, especially with so much unknown. But at the same time, there's weeks I decide to go 1 to 3 max because I'm like, all right, if I just take a stand and I'm right, everybody else in those same 1 to 3 max formats may struggle a little bit, and there's some advantage there. I think Justin Tucker is certainly in play tonight as a good potential play, just because he's got the strength to get those 50-plus yard field goals. Those are huge. Not sure if we see another Van Jefferson type deal tonight, but there are some wide receivers that could explode. One of my other favorite ones, again, I have the full deal written up. I do like Ruggs this year as a whole. Could see him do well. I think he's a good price, $5,000 for the flex position. I'll give you one super flyer that let's keep an eye on it. I'll give you two. So I like Duvernay at 2,600. I think he's a guy that, I don't want to say you have the Van Jefferson type game, but I do like him a lot. He's got that upside. Probably doesn't have the floor of like a Sammy Watkins or stuff like that, but certainly for the price, he's half the price of Watkins. There's risk reward there. He's in there. And then depending on how all the inactives and actives shake out at wide receiver, Tylan Wallace was a stud in college. People who play DFS, college football DFS, obviously probably know him. He's also was here at Oklahoma State, so I got to watch him a lot. Super deep flyer. Just we have to see who all shakes out playing. And if he's active, and depending on who else is, he's a potential play at $200 tonight. At least a flyer, right? I'm not going to say he's a core player or anything like that. But those are a couple down the list. You may mix and match. There's tons of options tonight. I do, like I said, I think it's possibly an MME slate. I have my DFS strategy builds, whether you're like 5-1, 4-2, 3-3, all that kind of stuff. Full details on the site if you want to go read the article as well. Then one thing I did say is if you can't be around within 90 minutes before, I don't know, you may pass tonight. Unless you're just going to fade the running backs no matter who it is or something. You just want to make sure you can swap or do something like that with depending on who's active and inactive. Baltimore, I'm not as worried about because I think we're going to wind up being on Tyson Williams no matter what. And I don't know if I sprinkle anybody else around it, depending on who's active and inactive. The Raiders one certainly is a bigger deal. If Jacobs is out, that opens up. Drake is probably a good play. If he's in, I really don't like much of either one just because they're going to share time. But that's something to keep an eye on if you can't be around. Right before lock. PGA, we are back. Like I said, the Fortinet Championship. Napa, California, Silverado Country Club. Last 5 champions last week was Stewie Sink, his first of 2 wins last year. Cameron Champ 2 years ago. Kevin Tway, and then Brandon Still back-to-back years. Anytime I see a Stewie Sink and a Cameron Champ as past winners, it kind of tells me that many different styles can win here. Although Sink did add some length for sure, and Champ certainly is long. So this is just initial looks. Obviously, you got to do all my model, deep dives, all that kind of stuff. Then I'll go much more on the smash factor and other content as we move through the week. First looks I like, just out the gate. Zalatoris 25-1. Congrats to him on winning Rookie of the Year. Cameron Champ 40-1. Like I said, former champ. That seems like no pun intended, it seems like a good number out the gate. Gooch is a guy that, I've started doing some research. Probably this is stuff more for January, but I may do a little bit of this in the fall. He's a guy that I think could have a big boost year. Made some way last year, just needs to be a little more consistent. Certainly has the upside, kind of like a Burns. Burns climbed a lot this year. I think Gooch has that potential. Sig at 100-1. He's one of the, so now we didn't have this last year because of the locked in COVID, all that kind of stuff. We get the new class of the Corn Ferry and others that secured their card. Sig's one of them that's been pretty hot over there. He's 100-1. Need a deep dive into some of his Corn Ferry stuff. Harry Higgs was second here last year. He's actually finished pretty good at the end of the season. Kind of like that number. And then Doc, 125-1. Started showing some signs again after, falling off for quite a while. And he finished third here last year. So 125, that kind of catches my eye. Just some early odds there for this Monday morning. Last chance, spread the word. 95 or 25%, 95% off would be still 25% off with the code NFL. Prices go up tomorrow. Like I said, NFL tonight, Thursday night, Sunday, college football, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, NASCAR playoffs. Ryan absolutely crushing NASCAR. Had a great week last week. College football, we killed it again Saturday night. Me, Bobby, and Brent were all in the top 10 of one contest. Brent wound up winning that one. I fell back some. The other contest, me and Bobby finished 5th and 8th. So another great college football weekend. All kinds of green screens in the NASCAR room as well. UFC, MLB playoffs coming soon. NBA right around the corner. So we got you locked and loaded. Come give us a tryout. 7 days. Cancel. You never get charged. If you stay on, great. Get you tossed into the drawing, and hopefully we can improve what all we got. We've added a ton. The Green Machine lineup optimizer has just come miles in the last month, let alone the last year. NFL tools are getting rocking and rolling as get the data from week 1 rolling in. Kind of hard to judge them with, it's all last year stuff, and some of that matters, some of it doesn't. So now we get some live data into our tools, help you process throughout the week. And the PGA tools, we got some upgrades heading here in the fall. Those have always been solid, so I'm looking forward to it. You guys have a blessed day, and I will see you later for Smash Factor, and then tomorrow with Cup in the Gut back in the morning. Thanks.